to ask people to judge you, assess you, and then make a decision. And to do that, I've seen Walla present herself with dignity and class, and to come out in this race took a lot of courage. And I hope that you will join me before we go another sentence and give her a rousing round of applause. To tell her we love her, and we are so very, very proud of you, Walla. Now, I've come to understand, I don't know why I thought that Walla was a native-born Prince Georgian. I understand now, I've been corrected, that she was born in Washington, but that doesn't matter because she is Prince George's County through and through.
Yeah.
And the way that you know a Prince Georgian and whether or not she's a Prince Georgian through and through is because of her work ethic. Now, I have watched Walla, and Walla is, there's a term that people use, and they say that you cannot be fatigued. And I say that about Walla, is she is a person who is unable to be fatigued. She's working in so many areas. You can tell clearly where her passions are. She's a really amazing lawyer. She's a lawyer's lawyer because she loves fairness, she loves justice, and for those of us who have come to know Walla, you're going to give her justice or else. Okay? We know this as well, right? Is that Walla is a person who not only has strong convictions, but she has courage to go with those convictions as well. And she's not going to back down until the right thing happens. And she doesn't care who's standing there and what they stand for. Walla's going to stand on the side of right and what her beliefs and convictions are, no matter what. She's demonstrated that over the years, not only in her advocacy of our nurses and the Nurses Association as their lawyer, but again, you can look at her body of work. She's a person who believes well and right. She's been a person who's been very active in the NAACP. She believes also in women. You heard a moment ago somebody say that I believe in supporting women because there is a well-known saying that says there's a special place in hell for women who do not support other women. Well, Walla's going to heaven because Walla also believes in women. Emerge Maryland, an organization that prepares women to run for higher office, is one that Walla has spent her time and talent, not only making sure that she had the opportunity to lead, but she has spent her time and her talent making sure that there are other women who are in that pipeline prepared to lead as well. She's a person who dedicated and spent her time with the Human Relations Commission in Prince George's County, making sure that Prince Georgians had the right to be treated fairly, that their civil rights were protected. So she has also spent her time on the board there as a commissioner in the Human Relations Commission. And she, again, is a person who everywhere you go, she puts it all on the field. Now, what I can tell you also is it was a few years ago that Walla also suffered a loss. And I don't think I could stand here tonight without mentioning that. And that's the point at which I think it just really makes me emotional to think about Walla and what she's been through. But you know what? Look how beautiful she is.
Yeah. Come on now. All right.
Courage. And for that, Walla, God is honoring you right now and will continue to honor you. And I'm so glad that everyone, thank you all for coming out tonight as well to support Walla. I stand here as her sister. I love her and I'm so proud of her. And I know the best is yet to come. And Prince Georgians, let me tell you how lucky we are. DC can't have her back. So I want you to...
All right. Say it.
And look, I don't usually talk fly because the mayor is my friend.
All right.
I talk a little fly about them tonight and tell them that they can't have her back.
Wow.
But Prince George's has her and we're going to keep her. And we are just so proud that she is going to lead us here. She's already a leader. She's going before the people to ask now for the chance to lead in District 6. But you know what? Walla has long been a leader in Prince George's County. And for so as much as she's given, I would have thought she had been here for decades and decades. But you know, today is her birthday.
Happy birthday.
We just celebrated her birthday. We're celebrating her birthday. Only 37 years old. Can you believe this body of work for someone who's only been here 37 years? This says a lot, Walla. So we're just all, I'm here tonight to say how proud I am of her, that I know that she's going to contribute tremendously, to continue to contribute to our community. And you know what? I'll say this, at a time like this, you know, what we just suffered over the last year, we suffered it together. And there are some who said, oh gosh, you know how horrible it was what we went through. But you know what? This is the moment we've been waiting for. It is the moment we've been waiting for. Prince George's County is stepping into its finest hour. When we have the opportunity, you hear that Walla is a person who's already been involved in making sure that police reform happen.
Yeah.
You all saw that we've been in a tough fight, but you know what? What we're leaving behind is very different than what we inherited. It will never be the same. Let me tell you that about what we know. It will never be the same. It will be what the people deserve.
Yeah.
And we're going to make sure that it is true.
Yeah.
When we talk about economic development in Prince George's County, that we've set the goal for $100 million in new commercial tax dollars that we estimate we will be able to generate in the county. This economic development goals, seeking also to raise the median income of the average Prince Georgians to $100,000 over the next 10 years.
Good.
We have some goals that are not, I'm not going to call them lofty goals. They are goals that we will realize together. But it's going to take all of us, a strong team, to make sure that Prince George's County, I've been saying it's the crown jewel of Maryland. People don't understand it yet, but they will. We'll just give them a few more minutes to catch up, and they'll understand that Prince George's County has been and will continue to be the economic engine of the state of Maryland.
Yeah.
And to make sure that we're positioned that way, and that not only will we in these communities benefit, but that we'll have the right road for our children to succeed takes strong leadership. And so we say to Walla, we're so proud.
Yes.
We're looking forward to the best is yet to come. We know that amazing things are ahead. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to stand here with you tonight and thank all of you all for being here as well. Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our county executive, Angela Alsobrooks. Thank you so much. We'd like to bring up Reverend Shirley Curry, the widow of Senator Ulysses Curry, at this time.
Praise the Lord, everybody.
Amen.
So good
Praise
to
the
be
Lord.
here, and I just want to thank Walla for the invitation to come. I prepared a few remarks, and I'd just like to say that over the years that I have known Walla, I have been impressed by her willingness and commitment to serve. I am not a politician, so I can't endorse her, but I am a preacher. And in that capacity, I want you to know that I am praying, Walla, that you will have good success as you pursue your calling. It is written in Matthew 22:14 that many are called, but few are chosen. And if you are indeed called, you have no control, because the word of God says that some are called from their mother's womb and others are predestined. And when I was struggling with my call to ministry, I was led to Romans 8:28 that reads, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose.
Yes.
So my sister, if I can say anything to encourage and support you during this quest, it would be to refer you to the remainder of that scripture that tells us, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate.
Yes.
Moreover, who he did predestinate, them he also called. And who he called, them he also justified.
Yeah.
And whom he justified,
Well,
them he also glorified. So my sister in Christ, my prayer for you is that as you continue to walk in your calling, keep the faith, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. And your labor will not be in vain. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I've been in so many rooms with her and never got the opportunity to meet this woman of God until Kisa, it was Miss Harrison introduced us, so thank you so much. Next we'll have Derek Davis, Chairman, Economic Matters Committee.
They want me to follow that. And before that, the county executive. That is I wish I had paid attention in Sunday school now. Oh my goodness. But I do know to everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the heavens. So Walla, I know that this is your time.
Yes.
This is your time. You got all of these wonderful people here with you, standing behind you. I know firsthand, we ran against each other 4 years ago. So I know firsthand what kind of candidate she is. I know what kind of public servant she would make. I know how committed to Prince George's County she is. And I, too, was born in Washington, D.C. and been here for the last 52 years. So I can certainly relate to that. Prince George's County, I chose Prince George's County just like Walla has chosen Prince George's County. She's going to need you all. She's going to need you all. It's nice to come out, I will say, to the barbecues and so forth. But as someone who's run 7 times, I can tell you that it requires a lot of effort, a lot of volunteers, a lot of want to. There will be times where you'd rather just be on the couch or watch TV. She's going to need you to stuff envelopes or I guess they don't do that now. I mean, it's gotten a lot more high tech now. Where they're going to need you to like something or tweet something or somebody's going to show me how to do all of that one day. But she's going to need you. There's always something to be done in a campaign. If you think she's worth it, if you say that you're behind her, then she's going to need you to have her back. And have her back means being there for her when you feel like it and when you don't. Walla, I'm proud to share a district with you. I'm proud to have you as a constituent. And if everything works out the way I know you wanted to, I would be proud to have you as my council member. Thank you all for having me out here today.
Thank you, sir. All right, next we're going to have Delegate Ron Watson. You can give it up, come on.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me I like the color red too, not because I'm a Delta, but I'm a Kappa man. Good evening, everybody. You know, several years ago, I got a call from my mother. And my mother said, you know, somebody knocked on my door, son. I said, oh, it's the hardest working young lady I've ever seen in my life. I said, man, let me think about it for a second. And she said, Walla. I said, Walla Blegay? Yes, I love her. And my mother still loves her. And that was several years ago. And that's how hard she was working. She impressed my mother, who's supposed to be supporting my campaign, to put her sign in her yard before mine. Now that's how hard Walla was working.
Well,
now, I was with Walla this morning about 9:30. We were right around the corner with the men of Beach Tree when we were raising money to support scholarships for students here in this community. 2 weeks ago, I was with Walla around the corner with the men of Beach Tree while we were raising scholarship money to support students here in this community. Walla's one of the hardest workers that I've seen. Yeah. And it goes without saying, hands down. Yeah. And that's what it's going to take, a little tenacity. But the one thing I want to say about public service, yes, it takes a lot to put yourself out there. Everything is open. Your whole past, everything. Yeah. And it takes thick skin to actually go through the gauntlet, to come out the other side. And the thing that keeps you going, Walla, is knowing that when you get elected, 2 things happen. You either become a self-absorbed megalomaniac, or you recognize the extreme responsibility of putting community first and putting others before yourself. And we know what kind of servant she will be. And so I am so proud that she has come to my neighborhood. I'm right around the corner. Not once, twice, but 3 times. Because she wants to know what we're about here. And knowing who you serve is step number 1 in being a good public servant. Yes. So we are so proud that you all are here to support her in her efforts. It's going to take a lot. I already did my QRC code. Did I say it right? The QR code. I already made my donation. And I ask each and every one of you to do the same, because this is not easy. Yes. So Walla, I thank you for allowing me to participate. I thank the host, my neighbor right here in Beach Street, for putting this together so that we can see the type and quality of candidates that we have who are seeking to represent us. So, Walla, all the best to you, dear.
Yes.
All right, at this time, we'd like to have someone who was not on the agenda, but because he is sitting in this seat on this day, Dr. Dula, come on up here.
Come on, Dr. Dula.
My fellow veteran, I'm so proud of Dr. Dula. And of course, you can talk about that office that Angela Alsobrooks opened up for you.
Well, thank you.
That's a big
For
deal
one of the
right
most
there.
inspiring and energetic MCs that I've ever met in my life.
Right.
And so it's tough to follow such great speakers as our county executive. Aren't we very fortunate, very fortunate to have a county executive like Angela?
Yes, yes.
Very fortunate. Someone that sees the vision of Prince George's County where we're going and is leading us to get there.
That's right.
And also Mr. Davis, he is up in Annapolis working for us all the time.
Yep.
It was so nice to hear him speak, as well as Dr. Watson, because these are two people that's very committed to moving us forward as a state. But I'm here to just say a few things about our veterans. Veterans vote. And as we come to this season, let's not forget our veterans, just like County Executive Alsobrooks did.
Yes.
When she said, you know what, Doc, I want to make sure that our veterans are cared for. I want to make sure that we're serving their needs. So all the veterans, just stand up for me and let's pay homage to our county executive and our vision to make sure that our veterans are not forgotten. And salute. Thank you. Boy, I tell you, she keeps me straight. But I like to tell people I'm just an old country boy from North Carolina that had an opportunity to serve in the military for 30 years. And one of the things I learned in my upcoming was the fact that when you look at elected officials, you look for those that bring certain values to the table. You look for those that bring that leadership quality to the table. You look at those elected officials that have the people's best interests.
That's right.
And you listen to what they have to say. And you make quality choices. And I think we've made some great choices in Prince George's County. But I also know that we got great choices to make ahead. And I came here today and I said, you know, I was way down in Fort Washington. This is my 4th event today. Because, you know, I believe in Prince George's County.
Yep.
We are the crown jewel.
That's right.
And we are moving forward as a crown jewel. And people need to recognize that. But I'm here for Blegay today.
Yeah.
Because when I was president of the Democratic Club, guess what? We built one of the most progressive and largest Democratic clubs in the state of Maryland, and many of you were part of that. But no one did more than Blegay, because she brought leadership, she inspired us, she was very, very energetic. You know her.
Yeah.
And gave us great ideas, and we continued to grow and develop because we wanted Prince Georgians to know that everyone matters.
Yeah.
And every vote matters. So this election, let's make sure that we get out and we vote for the quality people we talk about. We vote for the people that have our best interests in mind.
Yes.
And that we see who they are. And I can tell you, the integrity that Blegay brings to the table. I'm just very impressed with this young lady. I've been in Prince George's County. Many of y'all didn't know it, but it'll be 40 years next year.
All right, yeah.
That's good.
I bought my house when I was one of the commanders over on Andrews with the Air Force One unit. And we bought our house, and just like many of you, we could have lived anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
But we chose Prince George's County. So my father always said, you know, son, when we go to the polls and vote, make sure you vote your knowledge. Make sure you know who you're voting for. My father was a politician. So I want you to say here today that when you go to the polls to vote, make sure you vote your knowledge. Make sure you vote for good people who is going to continue to move us forward and see the county executive's vision.
That's right.
And see the vision of the county council as we all begin to work together as one. Because I always use the term jointness. Jointness means working together to accomplish any mission. Military people do that. And so that's what we want to see in Prince George's County. And I know that Blegay is one of those types of people that works well with others, but also does not mind and does lead by example. So I just want to say thank you very much for all you've done for Prince George's County.
That's
and we
right.
look forward to continue to speak on your behalf.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Doolittle, one of my favorite people in this entire county. Yes, sir.
I learned something new today, but I also learned that we guys had better listen to the women, or else there's a place for us in hell too.
Hey, listen up. Listen up, everybody. Listen up.
All right. So next, could we have Delegate Rachel Jones from District 27?
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It is so wonderful to be here to support Wala. Wala is one of my Emerge sisters, but she's also someone that I deeply respect and admire for her dedication and her commitment to Prince George's County and to this district. I know that there are plenty of people who have a desire to serve, but her passion and what she's already shown the community lets us know that her heart's in the right place. It's not about having a title. It is about continuing the work that she's already been doing, just in a capacity or position that gives her a greater ability to make a difference. And Wala, I absolutely adore you. I know that if the people of District 6 put their confidence in you, they will get a true leader and somebody who's going to go to bat for them. And so I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to support you, and I wish you all the best. Please continue to support her and ensure that she gets the opportunity to serve you as your councilwoman in District 6. So,
that's good.
Love you.
Thank you so much. So we're going to have a little recognition at this moment. We'd like to recognize Ernest Callas, Central Committee, District 25. He's in the back. Stand up. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Alexis Solis, Candidate Delegate, District 24. Oh, can you stand up, please? Thank you. Also, we have Crystal Oriata. I hope I said that right. And Prince George's Change Makers. Where is she? Oh, right there. Y'all don't stand up enough for the photographer to get a picture. Next, we have Ashanti Martinez, candidate, District Delegate 22, I think it says, right? 22, yes. Also, okay, we also have candidate Dr. Remy Duhalay, Delegate District 23B. Give her a round, please. And last but not least is Miss Harrison. And I believe it's Council District 4. Candidate. I'm speaking into existence, sis.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Did I miss anyone? Charge my head, not my heart. Did I miss anyone? All right. At this time, could we have Dr. Remy Duhalay come up for just a few words?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Congratulations, Wala. Wala and I are Emerge sisters first. And of course, everyone have spoken and attested to her leadership style, her hard work. That hard work attracted me to her. When I first came in contact with Wala, I needed a legal advice. And what did Wala do? I had an HOA issue that was over my head, and she rolled up her roller desk and got me in touch with a few. I know you probably don't even remember, or you do, but that was how we first met. And I'm like, wow. And ever since that day, not only are we Emerge sisters, I see what she does in the community. Her passion for Prince George's is second to none. Her ability to get along with everyone is commensurable. So Wala, I know you're going to do a fine, good job. And your addition to this county in the district council will be something that will be historical. So I wish you all the very best. And Prince George's has been home for me for 39 years and still counting. So we will make and continue to make Prince George's County a better place to live and work. And you are part of that. We wish you all the very best.
Yeah.
And remember, you are always going to be loved. And we will always value what you bring to the table all the time for all of us. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. At this time, may I bring up Ingrid Harrison? Give her a round, please.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I must say we are sisters in service because, you know, I represent the pink and green. But it's wonderful because we all love each other. And I am so inspired by her. We met for breakfast not too long ago. And a lot of the conversation, we did talk about our mutual campaigns, but I work for Children's Hospital. And of course, you know, Walla represents the nurses. And so we talked a lot about that. But even before we met for breakfast, I heard Walla's name over and over again. She is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
So she works so hard. And I'm just so inspired by her work ethic. And Delegate Davis mentioned earlier that she took a loss the last time. But guess what? Walla continued to be out there in the community.
Yeah.
That is respectable and commendable and admirable.
Yeah.
A lot of people step back, and you don't see them until it's campaign time.
Right.
Not Walla. I wish you the best. I'm so proud of you, and I look forward to continuing to serve with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I didn't want to mess up her current title with her running title, so let me just say this officially. Ingrid Harrison, currently City Council of Bowie, running for District 4 City Council. Come on, y'all. All right, so we're going to bring someone up dear to my heart, as well as Wallace and probably many of you in the audience, and that is Peggy Morris. Peggy Morris is the president of Sisters 4 Sisters Network, and she's about the same thing that our county executive is about: women, lifting women, inspiring women. And she is coming up to introduce our amazing Walla Blegay. Peggy Morris.
Thank you.
See, that's what happens when you come late, right? You get orders to take in charge. I see a whole lot of folks that I know. I see Karen. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Hi, how you doing, my sister? I see, oh, hey, Dad. Hey, there's my buddy back there. How you doing? Good to see you. Look, what can I say about Walla? When I first met her, you know, there's some folks that are coming to your life and you know they're going to be there for a while. Then there's some folks that stop by. Well, Walla was one that I knew when I first met her that she was going to be in my life. So that's why I'm standing here today to support her. She is true to her heart, true to her word, and I'm coming off the cuff for what I got to say about her.
Okay.
But as I was coming here and I kept thinking about her name, Walla, it's only 4 words or 4 letters in her name. And I came up with 4 words to describe her. So I looked at the W and I said, wow, that's a winner. A winner. Give me a W, guys. Come on, give me a W. All right, come on, let me hear some words here. Then I looked at the A, admiration. I think that's a good description of Walla. People admire her for who she is and what she has done for this community. L, for leadership. Can we agree leadership in this community? She stepped up to the plate. Although she didn't win last time, she didn't allow that to deter her. She stepped up to the plate and said, I'm going to do it again. That's what I love about women, when they don't give up. Because I had a moment where I wanted to give up, but it didn't. So I'm proud to say I'm standing here and standing strong. Give me an A for the last word or last letter in her name. Awesome. Let me hear y'all guys say awesome.
Awesome.
All right, come on, let's wake this party up. I came to party. I don't know about y'all guys. Where's my mask? So on behalf of Walla Blegay, come on over here, my sister. Doesn't she look gorgeous in this red? Let me introduce you, the lady of the evening and the tonight, I must say, because it'll probably be late tonight. We'll be here look, I came to party, guys, so I hope y'all plan to do something here. So Walla, on behalf of my organization, I am so honored. I am so proud. Girl, you're ready to kick butt, so that's all I got to say. Take the show.
Amen. Peggy has been an inspiration to me. When it talks about, our county executive, when she said, women supporting women.
Yeah.
And that's what we have in Prince George's County. Prince George's County is a unique place. If, women business owner, a lot of times women, we doubt ourselves. We're like, what are we going to do? Should I do this? Should I do that? But you got people like Peggy that are like, do it, make moves. And that's what I appreciate, you all. So I want to talk about my vision for District 6. But before I start, I just want to have a special guest that came by, and I was really appreciative because this is a whole full circle. In 2006, I graduated from University of Maryland, and after all my advocacy at University of Maryland, I was ready to hit the ground. Okay. And a friend called me and said, Tom Perez is a great guy running for Attorney General, and you have got to, they've got some openings for you to work with them. So I said, you know what, let me go, because I want to work in Prince George. As long as I can work in Prince George's County, I'm good. So that was my first job. That's what got me started in this advocacy that I do today. It really was the opening that really opened up the door for me. Tom Perez gave me that opportunity to be able to go into every community and talk about what he talked about. And he actually inspired me when people talk about progressive change and serial leaders. Remember that word, Tom? Serial leaders. Come on up here, Tom Perez. He's running for governor. And that was my first job. And when we did not win that election, I cried like a baby. But this time, I'm glad that you're here and standing beside me. And thank you for that opportunity.
Well, thank you, Walla. I'll always stand beside this person here. Serial activist to my left here, Walla Blegay. I remember so vividly. So we were running for AG together in 2006. Our headquarters, Madam County Executive, my requirement was we had to be within walking distance of Franklin's. So our headquarters was on Route 1, about 100 yards across the street from Franklin's. Franklin's was our meeting place, and Walla was our anchor. Boy, you see someone, and seeing as you told everyone how old you are, I don't have to give that up, but 22 years old. But sometimes you meet a person who has wisdom beyond her chronological years. And that was my first impression of Walla. And my second impression was the issue of passion. Daniel Patrick Moynihan used to say, a society that loses its sense of moral outrage is doomed to extinction. And what I loved about Walla was she carried herself with a tremendous sense of passion, a sense of urgency. Yes. And that urgency is more important than ever right now, because there are so many people suffering right now. So many people in District 6 who need your help, who need your leadership. So, Madam County Executive, thank you for being here, because we all know, Mr. Chairman, thank you for being here, because we all know she has got game. And I was up a little north of Baltimore, and then I was over somewhere else in western Montgomery County, and I said to my team, we've got to get the heck over here, because I wanted to say happy birthday. and I cannot wait to come to your swearing in, because you are going to kick some butt. There's no doubt about it. So thank you for the honor of allowing me to say a few words, and I am looking forward to that day.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Thank you. I really am so pleased for all of you all that came. Alsobrooks, you have been very inspiring to women like myself. You know, it's not politics. It is not easy, especially as a woman. We have to look good and fight. You know what I mean? So, and it's an honor to have, you know, someone like you that inspires us. That, you know, no matter what, and then we got to stand up. And you know what people want us to do? They want us to smile at the end of the fight. So we still got to smile, but we're still gonna fight and make a difference. So thank you so much, Reverend Curry. Thank you so much for your always inspiring words. Your husband was so good to me. And he is forever in my heart, Senator Curry. And I want to thank you for taking the time today. That I called you and you said you had all these other things going on. And I was just so happy to come, that you decided to come and support me here today. So thank you so much. I want to thank you, and I don't know if Chairman Davis, did he leave? Thank you so much for your always encouraging words, no matter the fact that, you know, I cried over there and said, I got the Chairman of Economic Matters Committee on the other side, I'm not going to win. But, you know, no matter what, at the end of the day, as much as I cried about you every day, when this was all over, you had the open hand to say, you know, let's work together. And I'm really happy that you are, you know, my delegate and my representative. I do appreciate you. And Ron Watson, I'm going to be your neighbor. I love Beach Street. I love this place. I said, no, you ain't got to worry. I'll be at all the fish fries. So I'm going to be there campaigning and walking the community, and Victor, I'm moving in, you know. You know, and I want to thank Victor Tarkett. Victor, are you here? Victor, come on up here. The host of this home, look at what he did. You know, I said, you know what, we're not going to have anything in any fancy restaurant. We're going in the community. Yeah. Because that's what we need to do. We can't be out fancy. This campaign is not fancy. You know, I might have my dress on today. It's my birthday. But this campaign is not fancy. We're not doing big fancy dinners. This is a community thing. We walk these communities, and you know Cassandra, put your hand up. What were we doing? Heat. We were in heat last week, walking Beach Tree, this beautiful community. Elisa looked good while we were sweating. Elisa looked good. But Victor, thank you so much for opening your doors and saying we can have it right. He said we can have it right in my community because I want you to be my representative. Thank you so much, Victor, for opening. He even had a vacation, and he stopped the vacation. The whole family's on vacation, and he's here for me. I owe you. I owe you big time. Good. Thank you so much for everything, for doing this. And he's a teacher in the school system, and he's actually an example. You know, when people think about the school system, we have a diverse community. And of course, we always say we're African Americans, and we're all African Americans, but we also have the African community, the Caribbean community, that we have very entrenched in our community. And we need to recognize that, and that's what they do in the school system, because we have a lot of students come in our school system who are French speaking, who are coming straight from Africa, and need to get acclimated into our community. And the teachers the same. So thank you so much for what you've done. Thank you. Thank you. With women leaders, I also had 2 women leaders that just walked in that I want to recognize. Our school board leader, Dr. Juanita Miller. Thank you so much for your support and for coming by. We also have head of the Metropolitan Washington Labor Council, Deanna Forrester, my leader. Thank you. Union strong. Union strong. And we also want to thank the supporters for today. We had sponsors from UFCW. Local 400 was a sponsor for today. Thank you to UFCW. Thank you to IDEW. Local 26, if they have the representative here. I'm not sure if they're here, but thank you all. Also, we have CWA, Local 2108, that also was supporting. We have a lot of labor support. Thank the labor community for their support. Now, I'm here to share about myself and how I will make a difference in District 6. As you all know, I announced my candidacy for Prince George's County Council District 6. I have been in Prince George's County for over 20 years. I did grow up in Washington, D.C., but when I was growing up, you all remember my father. My father instilled in me, he said, you know, When I was growing up, that was around the time of the Civil War in Liberia. And so, in 2 days we're going to have the Liberian Independence Day celebration. But it sometimes it's kind of painful because those 90s was awful. Because you had a lot of Liberians being killed. Andy, I have a lot of Liberian brothers and sisters here who would tell you it was a rough time. And my dad said, well, you're in this country. You're not suffering there. You're here. And you need to give back to this community. So even at that time, we were in D.C. advocating with Marion Barry, Charlene Drew Jarvis. I even had my picture with Paris Glendenning in Upper Marlboro. We went up here and we were advocating there. And so the advocacy was really, I was raised to be an advocate. In college, I was vice president of NAACP. I got involved with the various organizations when it comes to civil rights. And then I started my job with Tom Perez that took me into different rooms. I worked with the ACLU, working on police reform, a lot of the things that we're talking about, Anton's Law, we're talking about making sure that we repeal the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights. Those were things we were working back in 2016. We worked on foreclosure issues in our community. I don't know if we have any Our Revolution groups here, but we worked on Medicare for All and advocating for improving health care in the United States and within Maryland and even within Prince George's County. I worked on advocacy within the Prince George's Human Relations Commission, as that was mentioned. I was one of those that started the Human Trafficking Commission task force. That was when someone had told me that there was trafficking right in our neighborhood. It was unbelievable. A lot of empty homes where people were taking those homes and using it to traffic many women in our community. And we put that out in front. We fought on discrimination issues. You all know I advocate not only a discrimination, but just workers' rights. I advocate for nurses every day to make sure that they have working conditions that are fair to them, our healthcare heroes. This pandemic was rough for many nurses working without protection, without the protection that they deserve. And we fought really hard. Many of them, we had a lot of nurses that lost their lives that are still in ICU right now. But we're still fighting to make sure that they get the proper protection and proper care and that they are compensated properly. So I do advocacy every day. I worked recently with State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy, who I thanked her for stopping by here. But we had a predator in our community coming and taking advantage of the women, many women elderly, telling them to refinance their houses and taking their money that they'd lost their home. Miss Duckett stood beside me crying when we were in District Heights. She said, I'm losing my home and I got fooled by a man who pretended to be a lawyer. Well, he got 11 years. So I want to thank Aisha Brayboy's office for working on that, but just making sure that no one should be taken advantage of in our community. And I'm going to take that same advocacy, my passion for the people, and take it to the county council. Because we should be able to live, work, and play in our communities. We have great communities. Look at where we are. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful community, and that's within all of Prince George's County. As we drive around, we have beautiful communities. But oftentimes, we want to go places, we want to live, we want to go out to eat, go different places, and we do not do it in our community because we have some limitations. But that's okay, because we're going to work together to make that difference, to ensure that we have the economic development that we need in our community so that we can stay in our community and we have options. We don't have to go to Virginia.
That's right.
We don't have to go to Montgomery County or anywhere else, but stay right in our community. Making sure we have unique business owners right in our community. Look at the Kitchen Craze and the Milk and Honeys and all of those places where people are actually coming in Prince George's County for those nice things. We have them here. Look at the parks we have here. Look at, I live right near Watkins Park, and now with the pandemic, I get to take advantage of my community walking around. So I'm going to push for making sure that we have more, we highlight our minority business owner, our African business owner, our Caribbean business owners, our Latino business owners. We have a unique place. We are the crown jewel, county executive. We are the crown jewel. And we want everyone to see that when they walk into the marketplace around our communities, they get unique products that they can't get anywhere else, because you know how creative we are. And everybody has their side business that they're doing different things, but they're creating different products that we can actually put out there and say, we have something unique. Drive to Prince George's County if you want something different. So I'm going to be focused on economic development. We're also going to focus on healthcare. We have a new hospital right in Prince George's County, right down the street from me in District 6.
Right.
So we're going to be building around that, but we need more community health centers throughout our communities in the Capitol Heights area, in the District Heights area. We need the transit-oriented communities that people can travel throughout Prince George's County and to those healthcare centers when they need, and we're not going all the way to Largo if you're in different parts of the county. I'm also going to focus on affordable housing. You all know that the reality is that this is something we can't avoid. We are in a place where it is impossible. If you're making minimum wage, and Crystal, many of the labor advocates here, Deanna, we fight for 15, but the reality is that $15 an hour can get you nothing in this area. When I first moved here, my dad and I were living in an apartment in District Heights for $800 a month. That was in 2006. That same apartment building is now $1,400 a month. And the reality is that even my dad, a union worker with ATU, and where's Derek? Thank you so much for coming here. Derek is from ATU and worked right beside my dad. I almost cried when he walked in here. And many, those are union jobs. Those are union jobs where they work really hard to negotiate their wages. And even with those jobs, they have a difficulty living in Prince George's County affording. The reality is that I was talking to someone that was a member of SEIU, and I think it's 32BJ, and they're a janitor. And the reality is that they're in a place right now that once they're going to lift the moratorium, they think that they're going to get evicted. In fact, a lot of people in our community are scared of evictions because it's coming. Yeah. And it's coming slowly, and as those cases start getting through our court system, we're going to be looking at a lot of people that will be displaced because it's simply unaffordable in our community. And so we're going to work hard to make sure that we put some things in place to make sure that we have those that can afford to live here. Affordable senior housing. I know that there was funding for senior housing in District Heights, but we're looking at some other places to make sure that a lot of our seniors want to be able to move out of their big homes. But the reality is that, I was sitting in one of the more affordable senior housing, and even that was inching up to $1,400 a month. You have one that's $900, but the reality is this woman said, I make $1,200 a month from Social Security. So by the time she pays her rent, she only has $200 for the rest of the month. Wow. Nothing else. So she says that what they do is that they go to all the food drives. So thank you all for the food. And this is a reality that we need to understand in our community. Right. This is real. Right. She said that this was pre-pandemic. I was almost crying talking to this woman. She said that I got to get to those food drives because the food drives has her to offset some of her money so she can make it through the month. And she said, in fact, a lot of the people and the seniors, they actually kind of share their food so they can get through the month. That's the reality of our community. So we wonder why when we have the food drives, people are taking the food quick because they need it. Right. So there is work to do. I do want to thank you, County Executive, for really working on a lot of issues. I noticed, that crime in our community is increasing. Yeah. And of course, this is pandemic, it's national. This is everywhere. And a summer program, we got to get more programs so we can keep our youth engaged so that they're not out. So thank you for opening up your summer program because that is what we need. That's what we need. We need to keep our students engaged. And we have actually a lot of business owners in our community that are saying, we don't want to work with the school system. We want to connect with the youth so we can have our youth go. There's no reason in the most affluent African American community in the country that any of our students should be out here shooting anyone.
That's right.
Right? We should be taking them under our wings and giving them opportunities. I was on the task force for the apprenticeship programs. This was during O'Malley's administration. We talk about apprenticeship programs really is the thing of the future because apprenticeship program, you can not only do it for, people think about just trades. The reality is that we had someone from Germany come in. They had apprenticeship programs for almost everything. Technology, you name it, all of it. So there is a lot of work to do, but let me just tell you, I'm willing to collaborate with those. Ingrid, I would love to, when you win, I want to collaborate with you. I want to make a difference in our community because I love Prince George's County. I love where I live, and I love the fact that we have a unique community that people can look nationally and say that's something different.
Right.
I can even talk to my family in Africa and say, look at what we have here in Prince George's County. Right. So I want to take this to the next level, and I need you. I need all of you. We have so many doors to knock. Let me just tell you, District 6 got voters. You hear me? Folks here vote. They know, like, you can go almost every door, and they're on your list for voters. So we have a high voting population. We have doors to knock. We were doing doors this morning. We did doors yesterday. We have so many doors to knock on. I need all of you to join and sign up to knock on doors. We have phone calls that need to be done. We have fundraising that needs to be done. This is going to be a race. We have many beautiful women running in this race, and I'm just trying to make sure that we get to the finish line and win, and we are going to do it only with you. So I'm asking all of you to stand with me. Stand with me on this race. You know that I'm committed to you. You know that I would never forget where I came from. And all I need you to do is we need a people's movement. We're not running a fancy campaign. We are going community to community. Every month we will be in a different community in District 6 spreading the good word. And I need all of you to join me. So I need you all to sign up. What my field director, Cassandra, raise your hand. All right, sign up. She gonna let you know, sign up. Songs, where you at, raise your hand, sign up. Because we need a movement. We need a movement of people. This is a people's campaign. We are groundwork. We are moving, knocking on doors. We're talking to people. This is what we're going to be doing until June 28, 2020. So we need you. So I ask you, my ask is join in, come into this campaign, and stand with me to victory. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. I really do. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.